Working at a project center in conservation ecology of endangered regulated in Nicobar Islands. She's done a master's dissertation on the same topic, and she is presenting a master's in environmental science from the university.
Good afternoon. So today I'm going to talk about how communities perceive snakes and how they make uses of the snakes in global. Snake bites are so common around us that WHO instated it into neglected tropical disease in 2017. Most mortality rates are from Asia, Africa, Latin America. India alone sees an average of 58,000 deaths annually due to big four, which are Russell's viper, soft-scale viper, common breed, and cobra. But not much attention is given to the islands where four major pit vipers are present, particularly in the Nicobar Islands. These major pit vipers are white-legged pit viper, Cantus pit viper, Andaman pit viper, and Nicobar pit viper. Under IUCN, Andaman pit viper and Nicobar pit viper are categorized as near threatened, while Cantus pit viper are categorized as endangered. The study was covered in six islands, from which Nankauri and Car Nicobar serves as the base of the administrative activities, while Cricket had no established population. Teresa and Chora were the most remotest of all these six islands. These are the landscape of all the six islands. The average rainfall in the Nicobar Islands ranges from 3,000 to 3,500 millimeter. The grassland, but in grassland, thick forests are also there. The objective of the study is to document the perception and attitude of the local people to suggest strategies for snake conservation and minimizing human-snake conflict. Further, the study documented traditional medicinal practices surrounding snakes and the snake bites. Data collection was done through a questionnaire survey, having five sections, each emphasizing on perception, attitude, human snake conflict, uses, and the knowledge regarding the snakes. Participants were shown visual images of the snakes so that they can identify the venomous and non-venomous snakes from the images. These are the list of selected snakes which were shown to the participants during the questionnaire survey. Only reticulated python comes under Schedule 1 of the Wildlife Protection Act. As a result, 347 participants interviewed. Major participation was seen from male, while female were more hesitant to participate in the interview. Almost a high number of participants had some kind of formal education. Major communities who participated in the interviews comprises of Nicobaris, followed by Ranchi and Tamilians. The age group from 25 to 60 years saw more participation during the interview. Females were not able to distinguish between venomous and non-venomous snakes. The hexagonal plot here depicts that 25 to 60 years of age are able to identify more venomous and non-venomous snakes, and the cognition of the venomous and non-venomous species of the snake increases with the age. Till 16, the darker the sphere of the hexagonal lot means more snakes are getting identified. A high snake activity was observed during monsoon and summer. The perceptions like bad omen and all snakes are life-threatening can instill fear among the participants and can cause intentional killing of the non-venomous snake. While male participation has more positive conservation attitude towards the snakes, but major participants who participated in the study doesn't believe in snake conservation and harmonious coexistence with the snake. Living closely with the animals, albinos have developed a negative attitude towards the snake. Major general response towards the snake but to kill them on encounter. While females choose no prefer option, encountering the snake or asking someone to kill it. While the snakes like Nicobar's bronzeback tree snake, which is a non-venomous snake, gets saved from these cases because people are aware of this non-venomous snake. But the snake that is kept secret, a highly venomous sea snake, gets saved because participants believe that they can get body deformity and paralysis if they are killing this kind of snake. Livestock insects are generally attacked by dedicated pythons and pit vipers, chicken being the highest. Dedicated python generally feeds after rain and often stays nearby after consumption of the prey and thus killed by the islanders aboard the ship. Humans were mostly the victims of the snake fibers, and pit viper being the highest. While due to the remoteness of the islands, not many people use this watch, and due to lack of infrastructure like the street lights, people step on the snake. Thus, lower names like ankle, toe, foot are mostly associated with the snake bites. The visible body effect of a pit viper bite can have swelling, blackness, inability to eat, lack of sleep, swelling, puncture marks on the skin. These are the impairments due to the snake bite. Interestingly, these impairments are not associated with the traditional methods but are associated with the this can be due to the and the treatment by the treatment policies after snake bites saw several trends like 42% participants believed in traditional methods, 39% believed in any case of care from participants also played a role in shaping their choices regarding treatment post bites. 19% stayed far from the health care traditional methods are their primary choices because of the health is far from them. For the 51% participants living nearby the health care and had proper access to the health care still choose the traditional method, which is the traditional method. Several approaches has been done by the participants, like using snake oil batter, peel of the snake, using calcium carbonate powder, consumption of the snake venom, and practices like using slaves to remove the snake teeth are common among the parties. Participants generally clean and clear the bushes around their houses. Many settlements in the Nicobar Islands are generally surrounded by forests. The use of snake repellent is not much, but choices are benign except for Moringa oleifera and bleaching powder. Egg consumption of the pythons is limited, and while meat consumption of python is common around the islands, egg consumption is limited because there is a less frequency of sighting the eggs of the python. Of extracts of reticulated pythons is common across the islands, while the use of a sun-dried head of a pit viper is commonly used for alleviating the joint pain. Python oil and fat oil are generally sun-dried, and the oil can be extracted from the fat, and python gallbladder is used as a Python newsletter is going to make basically things like carb, while Python fat oil can be used for is being used for burn marks, joint pain, epilepsy, there have been several studies for the establishment of the medical importance of the Python fat oil, which shows that it is a good anti-keloidal agent. Hence, the delivery of the snakes can endanger even the population of the endemic snakes in the Nicobar Islands. And it has been seen in the study that people are aware of the non-venomous character of the snake. They are not choosing to kill it, rather to recover. Hence, there is a need for awareness program which can include differentiating between venomous and non-venomous snake, methods of extra security and knowledge of snake. There needs to be better transportation facilities in the islands so that victims can reach the healthcare on time. More study is required on traditional medicinal approaches. It has been seen within this practitioners who are not willing to share their knowledge even to their relatives, then there is a chance to lose these traditional medicinal knowledges. Research is required to establish the effectiveness and proper declaration of these traditional medicines. Furthermore, forest, there needs to be compensation by the forest department for the livestock loss and the impairment. There should be proper allotment of the healthcare workers across the islands. Lastly, I want to acknowledge. Um, Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, Jyoti. I invite Tina Sharma to give a talk. We want to project associate for the project Jalaj connecting rural and NCG. Master's in Environmental Science and also had a diploma in Environmental Management. She's working in the field of environment since last 5 years and has joined the club in 2022. Over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sina. Jalaj, our approach, which statistically approach generation and biodiversity conservation along the river. So, let me give you the background first. In 1986, Ganga Action Plan was introduced, which aims to conserve the condition and rejuvenate the Ganga river. But it lacked outcome of the project was not as expected because it lacks a major part, which was the community. Then in 2014, the Institution for Clean River was introduced, which aimed to revive the Ganga, rejuvenate the Ganga along with conserving its biodiversity, but also including the component of community engagement into the project. And next mission of for clean river is two phases. First is was first was from 2014 to 21, and second phase is also going on. It was from 2022 to 26. Hence, the engagement of community into the conservation part calls for a opportunity and a platform that will create a livelihood for local communities. And this leads to the origin of challenge. The meaning of challenge is anything that originates from the river or from water. So, challenge is a concept that connects livelihood and preservation by connecting people and river so that people can earn and it provides a platform to those people who produces something out of the resources derived from Ganga. It visualizes as a model for livelihood diversification through the promotion of livelihood producers. And it aims as a model to link people to specifically participate in the ecological and economic spheres. Aim of the project is to realize the goal of Earth Ganga and support the initiative of Government of India. Earth Ganga applies to uh, uh, applies to deriving only from river resources. So the objective of our project is to establish 75 Jalaj centers along the river stretches and also awareing the people for conserving biodiversity. Our major focus is on biodiversity conservation together with improving livelihood opportunities and awareing people. Study area is the study area incorporates the whole stretch of River Ganga, which covers almost 2,505 kilometers of stretch, ranging from Jammu, Uttarakhand, covering Uttar Pradesh, then it goes to Jharkhand, Bihar, and West Bengal. Our methodology incorporates mixed method approach. The our company conducts several field surveys to analyze the potential locations that are suitable for establishing Jalaj centers so that the conservation and livelihood generation can go along. Then the stakeholder consultation for identifying those groups that are most likely to help us in the conservation part, and also strengthening those local groups by providing skills and opportunities. This is an initiative after 2023, and it's been 5 months that we are working on the project. Our approaches for strengthening the river connect includes the following parts: awareness, enhancement, ecotourism, conservation of natural resources, sustainable farming practices, government of India policies, resilience community, enhanced income, conversions and conservation and development. The current outcome are as follows. We have established 26 wellness centers in different locations. The states I have mentioned, in locations of the states, within 80 districts. The following map shows the locations that are established under the Jalas project, and different Jalas centers are based on the bird watching, Jalas safari, corners, shops, and homestays. Uh, Still many things to cover up. So we have identified 40 more locations that we have proposed for to be site, and the line map shows the location that will be that's in the Jalaj. Different models of the Jalaj include souvenir shops, Jalaj safaris, wellness and healing centers, stay production center, awareness boards, water and stitching centers, and souvenir shops. uh, in these different Jalaj centers, different activities are taking place, including bird watching, dolphin safaris, river walk, and so on. We have currently registered more than 180 Ganga colonies throughout our journey of 5 months, and most of the Ganga prairies are women contributing to 86% of Ganga. These are the different types of products that are prepared from Ganga Prairie. Established sites and proposed development. We have established 26 more sites, and still we are about to establish 40 more centers that will be covered dolphin safari awareness corner, training centers, from heritage water mills. Last, it has been observed that there is a positive correlation between livelihood generation and biodiversity conservation. If aim to improve the livelihood of the local people, it will ultimately reduce the pressure on natural resources of the Ganga. And livelihood diversification emerges as a promising strategy, reducing dependence on the Ganga River resources while simultaneously fostering. Last, I would thank all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Simha. And I invite Sajid Reza to get his talk. Sajid is Masters in Wildlife Science from AMU. He joined Wildlife Institute of India in February 2022. And he's been working on long-term monitoring of predator and prey in Vidarbha, Maharashtra. Over to you, Sajid. I would also request the audience to pass the questions.
Thank you for the introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. So, we'll be talking about living on the edge, carnivorous human-dominated landscape. Today, the world is significantly shaped by human activity, coexistence of large carnivore alongside human populations, which is both economic and conservational challenge. The objective of this study is to investigate the co-occurrence of large carnivores, that is tigers, and within human life, and to examine spatial segregation of habitats within the home range of tigers and leopards. The study area lies in the eastern region with the state of Maharashtra. It is 1,200 square kilometer of area. Mumbai has 1,030 square kilometer and Brazil and India, 159 square kilometers of that. The field methods involves cattle tracking for 30 days from May to June in the year 2022. With total number of 9 pair of cattle. Further, price tag has been used to derive patch level and class level matrices on the LUC acquired from Sentinel to MSI. Uh, Partially explicit capture technique was used for estimating the density and population. The first set output was processed and cleaned using RGS visualization of the data. The last thing, generalized linear model was used to identify the key variables that influence the occurrence of large particles in the. This is the LULC map of the study area. It shows that among the land cover classes, cropland occupies the maximum area, 55%, followed by forest cover, which is 40.45%, and others 4.5%, which includes build-ups and water bodies. And the forest cover of the study area is surrounded by 600 villages. These are the kind of stations with tiger and leopard captures. The black dots there represents tigers, and the blue dots represents leopards, and the dots with both the colors has both tiger and leopard captures. In. So here we overlap the kind of tigers or the LUS and extracted the patch matrices within the MCP. The blue polygons there it represents MCPs of tiger, and the red are the females. As we can see, the MCP of males are exposed to human settlements area, and females are confined to the core forest patches. Also, the males are using more crop when compared to females. In the case of leopards, too, males are using more proteins and less forest cover when compared to females. Now, when we compare patch use within MCPs of tigers with leopards, the forest patches less than 1 square kilometers are being used by the tigers the most. The small patches are the ones that are close to human settlements. This means the leopards are being pushed into the whole forest patches by the tigers. The study area has a total of 1,601 small and big patches with a mean patch size of 0.013 kilometers square. We truncated the small patches, which are less than 30 meters size. Now, after the truncation, we have 2,478 patches with a mean size of 2.32 kilometers square. Further, we are going to use truncated patches for the further analysis. Now, the intersecting patches with camera truck stations have been selected to run fetch states again. The output still shows that small patches are being used by the tigers uh, the most when compared to leopards. When patch use was manipulated across sexes, female tigers are using the maximum number of small patches, followed by male leopard, and the maximum number of larger patches are being used by male leopards, female leopards. So we can see here like the small patches which are uh, close to human settlements are being used by the tiger when supposed to be leopards. So this is how the tigers are using leopards into the core areas of the forest. Kernel density map. It shows that the tigers are using patches that are close to human settlements. And the reason why leopards are confined to core areas, the activity of both tigers and leopards shows crepuscular activity pattern with a high output, but tigers were less active in the morning and more active in the evening when compared to leopards. Density, tiger density and leopard density per 100 square kilometers were estimated to be 5.65 and 10.41 uh, respectively. Minimum number of tigers were 53, population estimates were 53. Minimum number of leopards were 79, and population estimates were 107. So these are the variables that we use for running generalized linear model. So we did a correlation of variables which shows they were not correlated. So we continued with GLM. The GLM result shows in case of tiger, drainage density, straw land, tree cover, distance from settlements, distance from primary roads were usually associated with the tiger sector, where the distance from highways were negatively associated. That means tiger captures were high in the settlements, which goes with our fracture feature. In the case of agriculture, cattle area drainage density were positively associated, while population density was negatively associated. It shows that cattle area rider capture drainage density increased with leopard capture. Leopard captures are less where human population density is. In our findings, we see that is with critical insights into large carnivore habitat use pattern within the human. The result reveals that the tigers are increasingly acclimate forest patches near human settlements, leading to the confinement of leopards in the core areas of the rather than the periphery near habitation, human habitation. Sorry. GLM analysis highlights the importance of environmental habitat and anthropogenic variables in shaping the carnivore. Their co-occurrence in certain areas suggested potential adaptations to human-altered environment. Understanding the coexistence of large carnivores in human-dominated landscape is crucial for fostering harmonious relationships with communities and ensuring the survival of these apex predators while safeguarding human interests. I'd like to end the following. Thank you.
Request all the speakers to come to the stage for the question and answer. I will Dr. Ramesh will handle the questions.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, there is next tough task, not to the researcher, it's to me. Because of the computer era, we have reshaped our writing style. So, you know, some of the handwriting is really good. Some of the handwriting is a bit challenging for me. However, I can ask the question. The first question is to Jyoti Nandakoti by Panchali. Jyoti, you can the question displaying that was there any significant reason why females were less acquired with the knowledge of the different kinds of venomous and non-venomous?
So the main reason why females were have less knowledge about different kind of snake species were because of the less awareness. Because they do not venture out in the forest as compared to males. Males venture in the forest more. So as a result, they only stay inside the home and do several other things. That's why they may have less knowledge about the snakes.
The next question is by Anku. Is there any venom available in the hospital of the Nicobar Island groups? I assume that the human population density is low in the island, and therefore systematic and continuous awareness and outreach program can save human life.
So, as per the human population, it depends on each island. Like the remotest island have less population, but there are several islands like Great Nicobar Island which have like, more population density. So, antivenom is available in the hospital, but the people generally don't go to the hospital for the antivenom. They just go for the hospital, and the hospital provide treatment like they just disinfect the venom snake bite wound, but they don't generally provide venom on every snake bite.
The next question by Swapna. Very informative presentation. How receptive were the Nicobaris towards conservation of snake diversity, especially your focus species, given they are exempted from the violent management?
So basically, for the Nikobari, snakes are their enemies. So they are not much focused about the snake conservation. But earlier, I talked about a non-venomous snake. Because non-venomous snake, people are not harming it because they are aware. So because of less awareness in the island, people are not much aware of the different kind of species. Hence they are not believing in the snake conservation.
Next question by Swapna. Next question. You mentioned that 42% people uses traditional method to cure snake bites. Please elaborate the effectiveness of such methods.
So most of the traditional medicinal approaches were used to lessen the body effects post-bite. Body effects like swelling and blackness of the bone, inability to walk. But these traditional medicinal approaches were able to prove effective in lessening the body effect. But I will say that much more studies required to establish their medical importance.
Question by Dr. Abdul. What is snake repellent? How does it work?
So, sir, basically here snake repellent means what kind of things they are using to avoid the snakes. And there are several things which I will say they release in like extracts of drumstick food and using phenyl, bleaching powder, and fish cleaning water to avoid the snakes inside their houses. So these measures they are taking but are not proven to be much effective because snakes are yet entering inside their houses.
Um, Next by Akansha, very insightful study. What would be the reason behind no recognition of venomous sleep by women? Also, low response rate by women.
To response rate was because women were more hesitant to give the interview and ask their male members to participate in the study. And for the low recognition, as I said, females doesn't commonly venture out inside the forest, so they do not have much idea about different kinds of snake species.
Last question, that women to live the absence or response to perception of snakes as shown in your pie chart.
So, for the bad omen, there were several different reasons given by the participants, like different kind of beliefs they have that if they are doing something for this, and the snake, they are encountering snakes that will not be able to fulfill. And other than that, for the life saving, we just ask that if they think all ways are life saving. Otherwise, many questions were covered in the university content.
Thank you, Nagapur, for the response. And next is Sneha Sharma. Few of the questions is there for you. Uh, the first question is forward market linkage being established to market various Jalaj products. For example, the products available in marketplace.
Uh, uh, we are working on establishing the market for those products prepared by our local communities, but we have not outreached the key market yet. We have established a challenge. We have established a challenge very, very hard. That is Nola, which will to which will bring all the products at one place and at places like Delhi, which is a very hub in India. The products can be displayed along with the vendors. The products can be sold out. So we are on our way to develop the marketing strategies and create the marketing options for these products.
Another question. Yeah. What is the mechanism or market structure of the travel centers and are mechanisms in place that present appropriation of benefits by dominant or powerful cash groups, mass groups? Okay, maybe this question you can take it during the break. And the next question by Zaidul Hussain. The first one is in order to establish Dallas centers, does State Department WI provides subsidies?
It's not subsidies. The project is funded to establish some of the tasks, but we are limited on several aspects. For example, we cannot construct anything for the community. We have to fence them, but we don't spoon feed them. So we have to ensure that after we stop handholding the communities, they self-sustain themselves. So there is no subsidy provided by government or the minority group, but we aim to link different people, different communities to different schemes provided by the government of India in that particular area.
The next question. Yes.
This is a question to Sneha. Before you start establish Jalas, what kind of negative impact the existing livelihood doctors have on the biodiversity and water? The whole idea was to make the livelihood so that they will not be like users of Ganga, or they will not uh, be affected and polluting. And second one, on what criteria the locations of the developer centers were established? We are already planning for it. So these two has that been surveyed, and based on this, these have been established.
So for your first question, the communities. Sorry, what your first question, sir? Okay, I will come. Yes, yes, sir. So, before establishing the Jalaj project, National Mission for Clean Ganga was working along the stretches of Ganga. The survey has been conducted and has been observed in the biodiversity of specific location where the tribal communities, where the rural communities exist, was declining because of lack of awareness. People were not aware, so they used to kill this species and they used to kill the dolphins for the oil and different purposes. So it was not logically, practically logical to just tell them to not kill the species. Unless fishermen is dependent for the on the river for their fishes. If we stop them from fishing and does not provide any alternate to the livelihood, it is unpractical. So it has been observed during the ecological surveys conducted by our WII team that the dependence of the communities on river resources is directly linked. And if we want to sustain, we want to conserve our biodiversity species, we have to interlink these communities to another alternative resources, alternative options for livelihood. And your second question was on what basis we have selected the different sites. So during the surveys, it has been identified that some of the locations are very vulnerable and fragile because of the presence of a specific type of species or any specific type of protected area by the Ganga. We have identified those locations that requires greater attention of ourselves and the community. For example, we have identified those locations that are Kaminumi Ramsar sites of along the Ganga, or those areas that are protected. Others are others are specific type of species that we these type of locations have been enlisted by our team, and then on that particular location we have collaborated with the different communities who become our Ganga prairie, and these are the cadre of volunteer groups that sustain themselves and does not expect any people called as Bangla, they aim to protect the Ganga. Along with, we provide them some skills. The concept is just came just now, but later on, if we talk about past time, we committed to conserve the Ganga without any benefit. Now,
One more question by Rajశేఖర్. Considering the community perspective, how Project Jalal is different or similar from NMC?
the project National Mission for India aims for the awareness part majorly and engaging community in the activities that leads to awareness among the local people. But the Jalaj part mainly focuses on the providing the marketing platforms of for the production prepared by Ganga.
Thank you, Sneha Sharma. There are four questions that we can try to do that right. That's all for you, Sneha. Thank you so much. The next presenter I would like to invite Sajid Raza. You have a few questions. The first question is by Dr. K. Ramesh. Good presentation with nice visuals. The observation on leopard being restricted core immediate habitat constraint or competition with the tiger. Kindly look into the details as the interpretation seems incorrect. I think it's a suggestion. You can discuss with him later.
Sorry, I'll look into it.
Next question by Zaidul Hussain. Since male use more agricultural land as compared to females, according to you, more conflict, male or female? Why?
Uh, I'll take it as the females are for like tiger female. So
Are you able to understand the question? Are males in conflict or females?
it's the
He's asking why.
the small patches are being used by the female smoke. The fractal results or the small patches are used by teams or the peppers. Sorry, the tigers are not doing big patches.
The next question is how patch density related to MCP? Does MCP decrease or increase with patch density?
Uh,
We
I
can take
guess
that.
that the patch density has nothing to do with the MCP. The fixed state, the result of the habitats that falls under the MCP. So
You can take it this particular thing during the break. And the next question is by Ayan. The space use shared leopards are avoiding tigers. However, the leopards usage increased with the tigers. Can you please explain?
it was a tiger capture. So in the like bigger patches, the data showed that the maximum number of tiger and leopard captures were there. So maybe it could be so that the sample size was like uneven among classes.
So this is the last question by Ravi. In your conclusion, it is pointed that male tigers and leopards are utilizing forested areas more than uh, leopards. But your sampling points, the camera stations, are only inside the forested areas. Please comment on this because your sampling doesn't cover both the areas.
Okay, camera stations that I overlaid, it was only the cameras that captured the tigers, and there were more cameras in the study area. And yeah,
Thank you, Lisa.
So
So you can.
one more last question by BC Chaudhary sir for
Okay. Sagi, you have pointed out forest cover was proved within most preferred habitat used by both tigers and relatively slightly considered, but on the basis of your study at a division level, you are probably going to suggest something like land use land cover or land use policy change. What is the recommendation of studying for the long-term land use policy for the division? Ultimately, is going to decide whether it has to be a protected area or what. What is the outcome of your study? What's the recommendation of your study?
okay, the study area is next to Tadoba and and India, Monoclonal accident, and the study has is 600 years, 1200 kilometers of area. So it will be like tough to make it a protected area, but there could be more solutions uh, uh, like
Sir, thank you so much, and thank you all the presenters. We had three presentations in this particular session. We started from islands, we covered Agnes Ganga, and finally we came to Kannur. So this is a very interesting session. Expected more in this particular session, but this year we had very few presentations. So the first presentation was about and the people information. The second one was about the Ganga, and the third one, of course, like there's a very interesting thing from this particular slide. Like normally, leopards are going more towards the dominated landscapes, but in Brahmapuri, what he was not able to explain is the ideal patch size. The smaller patch size, the only tigers live. When patch size reaches a particular level, that's why the tiger network makes the balance. So these allow the tigers to exploit the play available in the landscape. So that's the crux of it. So we were trying to look at that patch size, and only tigers of it, and the patch size where and can occur together. It's very critical for managing a conflict. So if you have a patch size, and if you believe that both the tigers and leopards can occur there, or you manage a conflict, and if you have a specific patch size where only tigers can occur, so you need to have a different strategy. And yes, it's very interesting because people talk about 30% of the more than 30 protected areas, tiger reserves in our country have less tigers. You have a human dominated landscape where you have more tigers than a tiger reserve. And what they are surviving is because of the different strategies. Now, with this, I hand over the mic to Dr. Nagesh for his comments.
Thank you, sir. First of all, I thank the team and the director for providing me an opportunity to co-chair this important session. We are almost at the last part of the technical three session on human dimension. In general, um, research on human dimension of wildlife conservation mainly focus on people perception, attitude, value, and their culture. Directly or indirectly, that could affect the wildlife conservation and also influence the nature resource management. So for studying on this aspect is very, very important. However, this year we have had a very limited study. So we need to focus on more and more in this particular topic because the conflict and coexisting with the animals is inevitable in coming days. And all these three presenters have given an excellent presentation, and also all these three studies have covered the vast part of the country. The first one covered the island coastal marine habitat from the remote part of the Nicobar archipelago, and the second study, which was dealing with the Ganga River across the five states of the northern part of the country. The third one is related with the larger carnivore, focusing in the Maharashtra landscape. So, importantly, the first study was elaborating about the human snake conflict. We all aware about the human snake conflict in the mainland of India, but not much information we have seen from the island and coastal marine ecosystem. And there is much attention need to be given to manage the conflict, and also there will be a lot of retaliatory killing and the mortality morbidity to the tribal people and the local people. So this particular study brought back the various important insights related with the human snake interaction. And the second study related with the Jalaj, they have focused on how the livelihood can be increased at the same time related with the biodiversity conservation. So this is creating kind of win-win situation. And the third one is focused on the human carnivore conflict of the leopard and tiger. This gives more insight on how female and male leopards and tigers move in the human-dominated landscape. The data from this study would be directly helpful for the managing human carnivore conflict in the Maharashtra as well as in the other part of the country. Congratulations to all the presenters and the supervisors. Once again, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks to the session chairs and co-chairs. We start with the last session of the day, which is technology in conservation. This will be chaired by Dr. K. Ramesh, scientist head, and Dr. Ajit Das, scientist, and session facilitator is Dr. Bharti.
So, good evening, everyone. This is the last session of the day, the 16th annual research summit. Research seminar. So, the topic is technology and conservation. So, when we talk about technology, it's very important, emerging. I think it's very much flying technology. As we see here, in this, I think we have 6 presentations. I think mostly it's a kind of a applied technology or other mostly spatial to rather. So we have a couple of presentations which are product technology. So maybe for the next time I hand over the mic to Dr. Bharti to invite the speaker. Thank you.
Hello, everyone, and thank you. So I would like to invite our first speaker, Soham. So Soham hails from a very small town by the banks of River Hooghly in West Bengal. He is currently working as a UGC fellow in Camper Dugong project. He focuses on modeling of critical habitats in India, effective mapping of sea coasts using remote sensing and GIS in dugong habitats. All the best.
Yeah, so good afternoon, one and all. I'm Soham. So since morning, we have been talking about the terrestrial habitats, and my topic is a bit popular talks that we have been receiving since morning. So thanks to Jyoti that she introduced with us with the items. And yes, I will be talking about the marine ecosystems. Since my presentation is the first one from the Campa Dugon project, I would like to introduce to you with this central channel. So they are dugongs. They are the only representatives from the border side, which can be found in Indian borders. We have a very minor population of 250 individuals in that border. Though we have a very minuscule population in India, but we have a great hope that we host the largest dugong population in South Asia. And what do they feed on? They feed on seagrasses, majorly on seagrasses. You can see in the map that yes, dugongs are found in pockets of the Indian coastline, that is Gulf of Kutch, Gulf Gulf of Mannar and Parkway in Tamil Nadu and in Andaman and Nicobar Islands, where the seagrasses are also correspondingly maintained. Apart from dugongs, yes, the seagrasses also host different other kinds of fauna like sea turtles, fishes, and different other faunal types. This brings to our study that to see where are the dugongs habitats, we started mapping the seagrasses. When we started the mapping of seagrasses, we found that India is having very diverse water conditions that we can find in Parkway. That is, you can see the water is so turbid that hardly we can find we can view the water. But in Tamil Nadu, like in Gulf of Mannar and South Andaman, the very clear water, where we can clearly see the substratum. But there is also another variable that is bathymetry. In Parkway and Gulf of Mannar, we have a very undulating slope. That means even if you move away like for 10 kilometers away from the shore, the depth hardly varies. But in Andamans, the bathymetry is so rugged and that the depth changes very abruptly. So yes, so how this turbidity and there's bathymetry playing a role in terms of our mapping activity. This brings to my study that is effectively how can we map this distribution using remote sensing and GIS techniques in critical zone habitats. This study has been conducted in joint collaboration with Biodiversity of India and Space Applications in Ahmedabad. The objective of the study, as already previously mentioned in the title, that evaluating various classification algorithms to map sequence windows in different conditions of interwaters. And why mapping of sequence is important. I yeah. So, so we have a very regulated or very regulated mapping for mangroves, being a similar kind of ecosystem, like in the tidal reservoir level, but we don't have such a mapping exercise that has been going on in our country. This brings to the rationale of the study. We'll discuss the rationale basically in two perspectives. That is, we adopted a new methodology in terms of field and also in terms of remote sensing. So this is the field rationale that we have been talking about. Yes, as we all know, slope drilling has been a really fantastic and charismatic water sport, and people, people are very much fascinated with the acrobatics and diving underwaters with animals. But when we talk about research, it has a different scenario, the darker side as well. You can see it requires lots of efforts, it requires lots of time, and yes, even putting up this much of efforts and time, you can find sequences. You can see in the video itself the water is so turbid that we need to search with a torch to find the sequences. Apart from this, even if you're diving in conditions where the current is high, then what happens is you may end up in end up your diving like kilometers away from your home. So yeah, so these are the loopholes that diving was giving. This made us thinking of like how can we make our surveys easier. So what I did is I used this quadrant, which drop-down quadrant method, where we used to drop the quadrant, we put the GoPro camera over it. The GoPro shoots a video which gives us the in-situ locations, that if the sequence is present or not, and if present, how much is the cover. We did subtitle and intertidal service. Subtitle service obviously with a boat, and intertidal service with working. The transit length for the subtitle service was 8 kilometers, but if the depth increases over 23 meters, we stop the transit there. Why so? Because in India, CPS has been reported till 23 meters of depth. Beyond that, it is not yet been recorded. In intertidal service, the transits are like used to start a transit from the high tide line and we continue till the low tide line. The distance between the two recording stations is 20 meters, and the distance between the two transits is 50 meters. The timeline of the survey was in North Parkway October 2021 to January 2022, recording a total points of 175. In Gulf of Mannar, we surveyed from February to April 2022 with total number of points of 101. In South Andaman, November 2020 to March 2021, with total number of points of 176. Okay, so that I talked about why we adopted this model methodology in terms of field. Why remote sensing? Uh, like previous whatever studies that you can find for mapping sea classes is mainly using coarser resolution satellites like Landsat or IRS. Here we have used a high resolution satellite that is Sentinel with a spatial resolution of 10 meters. Also, in previous studies, the classification algorithms they have been using is only the conventional algorithms which are already available in the conventional softwares. But here, all the major classification algorithms has been tested, which is giving us the better fit. Next is all the mapping of sequence studies that has been published in terms of remote sensing. All are localized studies. Here we are comparing different sites in terms of ability and validity, which I already talked about. The methodology in terms of classification, we used. I already talked about that in sentinel imageries with a special resolution of 10 meters. The bands that we used is blue, green, red, and NDSGI. What is NDSGI? It's similar to NDSGI only. What we do is we maintain a similar substrate like sand, and particular difference in reflectance that we are getting, that is mainly basically because of depth. So we do a radiation analysis, we remove the effect of depth, and we run the classification. So this is what about the methodology that we talked about, that the answers are perpendicular to the shore. Yes, this is how we draw the quadrant. It goes down and it's a video like this, and this is how it looks like over the C plus video. And you can see clearly that it's fully covered with C pluses that gives 100% cover of C pluses. Also, we can get the data service. Whatever data points that we have collected, we segregate that into 70-30, that is 70 for 70 for training and 30% for validation. This Google engine platform, why use the Google engine platform? Because I already told that we need to have a comparative study. So that's why. So we need to maintain a similar methodology. To talk about results and discussion, you can find in pathway where the water is very common. Random forest gets the best results. Why so? Maybe we all know that random forest addresses issues or systems with more complexity or where heterogeneity is more. But in South Andaman and Gulf of Mannar, the water is clear, where we can find that carp is giving a better fit activity. But it needs to be noted that random forest is also giving a decent accuracy in South Andaman and Gulf of Mannar, where the water is clear. So we can say that random forest is a more general algorithm when you don't have that much knowledge or you just need to do a mapping activity or classification activity to go for random forest. These are the output maps that has been generated. This is from the North Parkway. You clearly see that where the area is sheltered, the like which are less exposed to weather actions. We can have more proficient sea grasses. But in the yellow balls that you can see, that is in the North Parkway region, there is also a limitation of the study that where the water is so turbid, we cannot record sea grasses from these regions. So yes, I cannot say that there is no stress in the North Parkway region because the water was turbid. Maybe there is stress, we couldn't record it. This is from the Gulf of Mannar map. Here you can see that yes, Gulf of Mannar is having less amount of sea grasses in comparison to Parkway. Yes, the reason may be it's more open ocean, therefore the wave actions and turbulence are high, which is less condition for sea grass growth. Here also the same definition that if it's more turbid, hardly we can find sea grasses. This is from the South Andamans. Here also you can see where the water is sheltered, we can find sea grasses here. So in way forward, our great objective was that while we are preparing this seedless map, we use this for dugongs, habitat suitability for dugongs. We can also do a risk assessment with social survey data. And since social survey data is not that much accurate, we are also trying to find skill or increase our accuracy in terms of mapping or pressure, where we are giving some GPS loggers to some identified fishermen in South Andaman with Gulf of Mannar region. These are the tracks that we got from these two regions. We got 60 tracks from South Andaman and 56 tracks from Gulf of Mannar region. With that note, as a take-home message that we can say that yes, choosing the best fit algorithm will increase your mapping accuracy. Yes, you can tell it as Right? Still, from the preliminary survey that we have been talking about, as of now, we can tell this, but yes, it needs temporal replicas to be conducted, which have we already conducted, so data needs to be analyzed. And these are the people whom I would like to acknowledge, especially my team, Kappa team, and faculty assistants, Ajit, Dikunjo, Mangal, and Babu, and Asukal. Without them, the study has not been possible. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So this presentation is a bit different. So sharing the similar interest in landscape ecology and remote sensing and GIS, today Ms. Sneha and Ms. Himani, working as project associates in IDWH, have come together to share their thoughts on modeling species distribution of selected and endangered species in India. Over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. The talk we'll be presenting today is titled From Data to Conservation, Mapping Distribution of Selected Endangered Mammals and Bird Species in India. So the work we'll be presenting today is a part of the component Select Habitat Monitoring of Critical IDWH Species, which is a subpart of the broader IDWH scheme funded by UNCC. So, over the last few decades, there has been extreme land use and land cover change leading to habitat destruction. Therefore, MOUCC came up with the PWX, the objective of which is to safeguard critically endangered species and their habitat and to develop protocols for monitoring the status and trends of the IWH species. Our project outline aims to assess and monitor certain critical habitats of the endangered species. There are broadly three objectives, and today the results that we will be sharing is closely related to assessing habitat information of species covered in the project. So this is a preliminary study, and the objective of our study is to model distribution of selected endangered species, which includes 9 endangered birds and 3 endangered birds. So India, where there are 998 protected areas, which constitute about 5% of the total geographic area, is a study area. Home ranges of the 9 endangered mammals and 3 endangered bird species are spread throughout the country. Our methodology broadly includes 4 steps. First one is the collection of species occurrence points. We have done it through online and offline sources. Uh, for example, we have used the GWIT platform, which is Global Biodiversity Information Facility, and we have referred to scientific publications available both offline and online. Once we have collected the points, we verified them. Means we remove the duplicate points and uh, avoid the duplicate point in order to avoid clustering of occurrence. Third step was selecting the environmental covariates. We have selected total 19 environmental covariates for our species distribution modeling, which is supported by scientific publications for all the species. Next, we have used 7 maximum entropy model for species distribution modeling. Our sources, both online and offline, includes the online sources include GBIF and eBird. Offline sources included boards and publications, which are available there at the Library and Documentation Center of the Wildlife Institute of India. We have used two important bioclimatic variables, which are supported by published literature, and we have included 11 other environmental variables which are important for each of these schemes. Although while collecting the data, we did face some challenges. While collecting the information on species occurrence point, there was a gap between what is known about species ecology and what is published about them. For example, we did come across some of the study where they have done camera studies and they have specified like which location the information for the species was available. But they have not provided the latitude and longitude values, making it difficult for us to retrieve exact occurrence point of the species. In some of the species, in some of the reports and publications, they did mention the latitude and longitude value, but it was difficult for us to retrieve the species occurrence point because the site at which the species was captured Coming up to the results, I will now be sharing the species distribution model outputs for 9 mammal species. This is the output for each time. So a model distribution the distribution for Asiatic lion spans the Gir landscape that includes the Gir and Gir National Park and few other pockets in Junagadh and Amreli district of Gujarat, which are mostly agricultural land use patterns. For snow leopard, we did the modeling for Western Himalayan region, and a model gave distribution, like according to a model, the distribution was in Sunflower Wildlife Sanctuary in Hemis National Park in Ladakh, and in Uttarakhand, the distribution was high in Gandhi National Park and Mandadegi Biosphere Reserve. Among the top 5 variables, the contribution was highest by the layer elevation, and the preferred elevation by the species is between 1800 to 5400 meters. The Nilgiri Thar is a species which is distributed in fragments across the western Ghats. And like according to the species, the top contributing variable of preferred elevation by the species is 1200 to 1600 meters. According to the model, the distribution was very high and around areas of Aravalli National Park and Muketi National Park and around Nilgiri and Nandava Hills. India is like the 5 distinct populations are distributed in the central India, northern India, and north India. So the distribution, according to our model, uh, and in India is around Chilman and Magnus tigers. Wild buffalo is also found in isolated pockets in the northeast and central India. As per the model, the distribution was high in Kaviranga, Mars, Tiger Reserve, Vitru National Park, and Assam. So the top 2 contributing variables were elevation and LULC. The LULC had a contribution of 24%, and within which grassland area was the highest contribution. For Telangana, we had collected occurrences points from India, Nepal, and Bhutan. Though for our modeling, we had used points only from India, and the results had been with the entire species. So, as per our model, the distribution of the species is high in Kanchenjunga National Park in Sikkim and in Darjeeling district of West Bengal. Also, the distribution is high in the northern district of Arunachal Pradesh, where, as per the literature, Brahma forests are high. The next species is clouded leopard. The clouded leopard has a very patchy distribution throughout the northeast India, and as per our models, the distribution was high in Manas and Manapa National Park. Calicut is one of the most challenging species for us because we could collect only 17 occurrence points through literature. The distribution is spread across Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, Gujarat, and Madhya Pradesh. The distribution, according to the model, was high in and around Mumbai and Andhra Pradesh and Gujarat. The critical one-horned dinosaur species is distributed in the Terai and Bhagar tracts of northern India and Brahmaputra river basin in the northeast India. As per a model, the distribution was high in and around 5 national parks in Assam, 2 in West Bengal, Valmiki Tiger Reserve in Bihar, and Dudhwan National Park in Uttar Pradesh. I would now request my colleague to take over. Thank you, Sneha. I would like to quickly take you to the output of our code species. Under IDWH project, Habitat Monitoring Component, we have 4 code species, and I'm presenting on 3 of them. The first is the edible nest. The bird is known for its nest, which has the highest commercial value and used as a river. The other one is the Nicobar Nicobar, and endemic in the Nicobar Island, and it's known for building large mounds for incubating its eggs. The third one is turtle exposure. It is last sighted in the year 2008 and is not a sport species. Following are the others. The first is Edwin squidlet. This species is distributed in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Andaman, there are 18 islets, and Nicobar, 11 small islands, where this species is distributed. And total gave results from very low to very high. The highest environmental rating is the forest grass. The species nest in the dark cave, as cave dwellers, but also go out in the forest for foraging activities. The second one is Nicobar megapod. As I mentioned earlier, it is endemic in Nicobar Island. According to Dr. Shiv Kumar 2000 study, the species shares proximity towards the shore, hence this is a first environmental variable description is the highest contribution. And the third species of exposure, not much is present on this particular species, but there's a wildlife sanctuary known as Sri Lanka, Malaysia, where the species was sighted last. And only we have 11 occurrence points, so I want to give the following results. 17 is the highest person in only contributor, followed by 15 and forest. To summarize our agricultural monitoring organization, our first objective is to understand the species distribution probability of species, and followed by making habitat suitability maps by overlaying LULC and other seasonal data of the species. And this is a prerequisite for the habitat suitability maps. These were the following three limitations we faced while working on our component. First is a gap between what is known and what is published, as mentioned by Sima earlier. And we have not been out in the field, so this study is primarily based on this data. And the study needs ground validation. For the future plan, whatever output maps we have, we will be giving out to the following components, data different species, for ground validation and of course data collection. And we will be preparing habitat suitability map based on the habitat patterns across the planet. I would like to acknowledge the following people and Wildlife Research Platform for giving us this opportunity. Thank you everyone.
Now we have the third speaker. Thank you, guys. Now we have the third speaker for the session, Uday Raj. Uday Raj joined WIA in 2018 as subject matter specialist and currently is working as a GIS specialist. So Uday Raj contributed to various projects, especially in elephant landscape. Today he will share his insight on mapping vital elephant corridors. All the best.
Thank you, Arora, for your introduction. So, good afternoon, everyone. Uh, I'm here to speak about the mapping the wild elephant corridors of India. So, this is a part of Elephant Cell activity which was funded by Project Elephant Division MOFCC. This is a collective effort by the Project Elephant Division with the State Forest Department and with the technical support from the Elephant Cell, which took nearly 2 years for us to complete this task and come up with the report. So majorly the habitat fragmentation, which is a major threat to the elephants. Globally, the annual rate of deforestation is estimated at 3 million hectares from 2015 to 2020, which is the main reason for the loss of habitation and degradation of the habitats. So this which leads to isolated populations. Isolated populations in inbreeding and for the and other genetic concern. So elephants, which have a large bone range, and it has in intact habitats, the bone range of the elephant is around 405 kilometers. Whereas in the habitat, fragmented habitat, like East Central region, like Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, and Odisha, which has nearly 3,000 kilometers area. Uh, Further, I consider people are presenting connectivity and everything. So I'll just give a like simple introduction about the elephant corridor. Like, elephant corridor refers to the like a specific geographical area or a route that facilitates the movement of the elephant between different habitat populations, breeding other things like watering the etc. So the movement might be regular, seasonal, or occasional. If the movement is occasional, it is very important for genetic exchange between the elephant population available in this landscape. So, however, elephant corridor, when you see in an Indian context, numerous number of studies has been carried out to identify various elephant corridors in the country. So, in 2005, WTA came to the first edition. There are nearly 88 elephant corridors in the country. Further, the Elephant Task Force report of the Government of India document, that is known as Gaja report, which came up with 88 elephant corridors in the year 2010. Then followed by the second edition of the Right of Passage put by the WTI, which they have updated it and came up with 101 elephant corridors in the country. So, since these right of passage and elephant task force has been a decade. So, during the 16th Project Elephant Steering Committee meeting, it was decided to revisit these corridors and and assess the status of the corridors all over India. So this is the approach which we follow for mapping and ground validated corridor. The corridor listed in the Gaza report and right of passage were used as a basis of for the ground validation. Along with this, the Forest Department has provided the list of existing and new corridors for the ground validation. So such corridors might be like interstate corridor or also and even transnational corridor also are there. So for the state that did not provide a list of corridor, we used the WTA model report as a basis and we will ground validation. And then followed by a region-specific meetings coordinated with the Project Elephant Division along with State Forest Department to sensitize them and bring them on the same page with us. A detailed questionnaire was prepared to attain various attributes on the elephant corridor. So all the listed products were validated in the field by a joint team of a forest department and a representative from the project elephant division and of course a local expert who knows the landscape much. Subsequent to the ground validation, duly filled in data forms like illustrating the attributes of from was obtained from the forest department. The questionnaire includes brief attributes about the structural social connectivity, major habitat settlement in and around the corridor, and state of different conflict like inside or around the corridor, and threats to the different corridor. Other to this, we did a simple land use standard change from 1985 to 2018 to evaluate the current status of the elephant corridors in the country. So, a few insights we got from this study is like a total of 150 corridors were identified in 50 different states, including the state of Karnataka and Uttarakhand has not provided the data sheet where the list of corridors in the Gaza and WTA report has been used as in the current state. In addition to the 150 corridors, there are also states in which the elephants have mentioned recently and expanded their range. This includes the Vidarbha region in Maharashtra, which is adjoining to the Chhattisgarh, and southern Maharashtra, which is adjoining to the Karnataka, and then Madhya Pradesh, where the elephants presently occur in Bandha and Andhra Reserve, and northern Andhra Pradesh, where the elephant moves from the Odisha. So, for these like recent venturing, a long-term study would be required to assess these landscapes and come up with the corridor, the top corridor. So, later we collected all the information received from the forest department and tabulated major attributes such as indicative with and the compartment based inside the corridor, like the revenue villages, major land use, and even the number of elephant use this corridor, and the current status of the corridor are also estimated. And then in this current study, we just only made the indicated directions of the map, the indicated direction of the elephant corridor. Whereas the exact boundary of the elephant corridors has not been demarcated, which is in the process. So these are some of the few insights. Like among the four elephant-bearing regions, nearly 35% of elephants are present in the east central region, followed by the northeast region and southern and northern region. The northern region has a limited number of population that is from Kalsi to Sharda River and then from Kaganyagat and Pilipit to Dudhwa region. So, uh, so the when you see this in the state wise, West Bengal has the highest number of elephant corridor, as it has the two elephant populations, that is a northeast and east central region. About 85 to 84% of the identified elephant corridors are within the states, and the 13 are like interstate corridors, and further there are some transnational corridors that connects the Shuklafanda and Pilibhit region. So, and further to that, we just found that 40% of the elephant corridors, the intensity of the use by the elephant has reportedly increased. Uh, 80% of the elephant corridor, intensity of use by the elephants has decreased. And further, there is a no change. 90% there is a change. And then 10% of the so actually, in the last day report, the number of was 7, but now it has been doubled. So, impact, how the corridor has an impact. So, this is the Goa corridor, which was impacted due to the ITBP camp and population report and few other things. And then, Sunday by wildlife sanctuary, the elephant used to pass from Nairobi and Chador towards the Stinger Hills on the down slope. So, which was into the tea plantation and agriculture. So after coming to the land use and cover status, we used land use and cover status was carried out for the 101 corridors using the three classification land use and layers. So the land use and cover analysis was carried out in the region wise, and it was found that the northeastern region has the most like 10% forest decrease in the elephant corridors, followed by the southern and eastern and northern region. This may be due to the highest fragmentation in the North Bengal region, North Bengal, the specific Manas region. Manas region because the most high, that is the region at the highest level of fragmentation. And then it is found that in the North Bengal region, for every 150 kilometers of square kilometer of forest, one corridor exists. And it is also found that 13% of the total corridor or under the forest area, completely under the forest area. 20% of the corridors are free from the human settlements. And 66% of the 66% of the different corridor has agricultural land and highways. So we just wanted to discuss about few areas in the identification of the corridors by the forest department. And these two are among the 49 newly identified corridors. And the forest department have this conception identifying these elephant corridors, elephant habitat as a corridor. So the first one is Jampani, which connects Chaiposa Forest Division from the Jharkhand to Bengal Forest and Odisha, which is nearly 120 kilometers. So, and this one is a Shivari corridor that connects to like the Mohan. When we go down to Delhi, to till the Kalesar National Park, which the Shivalik, total Shivalik Park has been considered as a corridor. So this actually has to be addressed from the forest department, and then the further in-depth study has to be carried out for like proposing this as a corridor. So our way forward is like the current studies is considered as a minimum number of corridors existing in the country, and it would require a long-term movement data to accurately delineate the boundaries in the ground and in the map and the long-term land use and cover changes within the corridor. Thank you.
Thank you, Udayraj. So before we move on to the next presentation, I would request everybody to give their questions. So the next speaker with us is Anshul. a young researcher and a wildlife enthusiast. She did her master's in environmental science from Doon University. She joined WIA in November 2022 in a long-term monitoring project under Dr. Bilal Khalil. So over to you, Anjali.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today I'll be presenting about identification of behavioral states of tiger using triaxial accelerometer data, which is a part of the project long-term monitoring of tigers, co-predators, and victims in tiger-bearing areas of Vidarbha, Maharashtra. So we know that every behavior is associated with some kind of energy, which is a crucial factor in identifying the overall fitness of any animal. Also, long-term telemetry studies suggest that tigers outside protected areas travel and require large areas just to survive. The tigers in a human-dominated landscape spend more energy on their daily life. So to understand more about the behavioral switch in tigers and the energy expenditure associated with this with the behavior switch, we conducted our study in the eastern middle landscape. We know that tigers in the eastern middle landscape are found in the protected areas and outside the protected areas as well. So these are the steps we follow for our study. First is the calling. So we collared a female tiger with a triaxial accelerometer device. It is a biologging device which basically measures the high vibrational frequencies in terms of. So our device was set to 8 hertz, which means that 8 data points per unit of time were captured. Uh, However, if we use a accelerometer with high capturing capacity, so more data points per time will be captured, which gives a detailed account of the recorded data. So since it is a finite accelerometer, records the direction along t-axis x, y, z, namely sway, turn, in respectively. So sway represents the left and right movement of the animal. Surge represents the anterior movement, and heat represents the up and down movement of the animal. Then after the collection of our data, we use a custom-made software called Daily Diary Multiple Trace, which automatically calculates the total dynamic body acceleration, which is uh, all of the total acceleration along all the three axes. And for our study, we used VIPA, vectoral dynamic body acceleration, as a proxy for the energy expenditure of Tiger. So on the right is the overlay display of the DB. On the right bottom is the representation of the rhythmic patterns of these moving data. And our data was divided into a number of splits, and each split contains the recorded data for 2 days. So we chose a random split and observed the rhythmic patterns along with the threshold values, which are shown here in the table to identify the behaviors. So then we identify people into 4 different types based on the accelerated data. Behavior was resting. It is when the animal is either sitting, lying on either side, or sleeping, causing minimum to no movement at all. So the topmost figure there is a 15-minute clip of the resting behavior. We identify resting by the static acceleration, which is responsible to determine the body posture of the animal. Then we formulated a Boolean expression by observing the values for x, y, z beta values. So after applying Boolean expression, the system marked the whole activity in all the splits as listed. The second behavior we identified was walking, which is a slow movement of the animal, and which includes roaming around or accompanied with so in walking, we observed that the total values for the y-axis was by acceleration were much higher than that of the X and the zero acceleration. So as we did for resting, similarly formulated for walking, and we observed that values of PEPA were between 0.03 to 0.06 for walking. The third period we identified was traveling, which is a high-speed directional movement of the animal, and it is usually motive oriented. So we observed that all the three accelerations were of limited power as compared to walking. So the values of beta and between 0.1 to 1 for traveling. The fourth period we identified was hunting, which is a vigorous activity where the animal usually chases and seizes the prey. So we observed a bombardment of energy expenditure in hunting, and the threshold value for beta was greater than 1.2. So we use this value to formulate the Boolean expression of hunting. Additionally, we also calculated the activity budget of the tiger. So the graph here represents hourly proportion of the time spent by the tiger. So what we observed from this graph is that the tiger spent almost 65% of the time resting and 20% of the time traveling in the midday hours. Walking was carried out throughout the day, but it was significantly low in the midday hours, and traveling was recorded 58% in the evening hours. We also calculated the energy expenditure of the tiger for three seasons, summer, monsoon, and winter. So monsoon recorded the lowest energy expenditure, which was 0.130, followed by monsoon, where the beta reached up to 0.160, and winter recorded the highest energy expenditure, which was 0.165. Also, we observed that the values for data was greater during early morning and late evening hours, which indicated a peak in the activities of the tiger for all three. Then to get more accurate results, we validated our findings. So the image here is a glimpse of the stages of hunting. So A represents the ambush behavior here, and B represents the phase where the animal chases and seizes the prey, which is represented by the high energy expenditure and bombardment of energy release. So we correlated this activity with relevant GPS locations and field observations of the collar tiger. So what we concluded from our study is that data can be successfully used as a proxy for calculating the energy expenditure of tigers. Based on these video values, we classify three types of behavior: resting, walking, traveling, and hiking. And we also observed that the lowest value of PIPA during summer mainly indicates that the tiger might have been subjected to a vitamin D availability near the body. On the contrary, higher PIPA values in winter indicated more energy expenditure, amounting to more energy requirements for its survival in winter. So, but I conclude that our study can help in effective management and conservation of tigers, not only inside the protected areas, but outside the protected areas as well. I would like to use the call. Thank you.
Move to the next speaker, Manisha. Manisha has completed her master's in environmental science and she joined WI in 2022 with her interest in conservation ecology. Today she will talk about modeling habitat suitability and movement corridors for tigers and rhinos ensures boundary terrain are transit.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bharti.
Good afternoon, one and all present here. I'm going to talk about habitat suitability and connectivity analysis for tiger and rhino in transboundary terrestrial landscape. The project is conserving vital connections across expanding infrastructure in a transboundary terrestrial landscape under Dr. Bilal Habib, funded by USFWS, Rhino and Tiger Conservation Fund. Taraya landscape were ecologically important region, which is at the interface of India and Nepal. It comprises of Shivalik Hills, involving harbor tracts and Tarai floodplains. It is fed by many major rivers, therefore the area is highly productive both for humans as well as wildlife. Taraya landscape has several protected areas, which covers an area of 19,500 square kilometers. It's home to many iconic species such as tiger, leopard, the right landscape plays a crucial role in providing connectivity between the protected areas of India and Nepal. The right densely human populated landscape is connected by the network of linear infrastructure. These linear infrastructure network are providing connectivity for humans, but they are impacting the wildlife. And the impacts are very well known. Next to the mortality of wild animals acts as a barrier to the movement, leads to the isolation of population. Interestingly, the Rayak landscape being one of the most researched landscapes in terms of wildlife, yet there is a dearth of connectivity mapping across the landscape in context to linear infrastructure. So considering the rapid growth of linear infrastructure in the Rayak landscape and its rich biodiversity, it's very important to consider the Rayak landscape India and the Rayak landscape Nepal into one conservation unit and conduct a connectivity mapping study across the landscape for the long-term conservation of this area. The study requirement brings us to the following four objectives. We're working on the first objective, which is to identify the movement corridors for type in Indo-Nepal landscape. Study area includes transboundary Karayak landscape, which contains 18 protected area from Nepal, 5 from 18 protected area of India, and 5 from Nepal, along with the other protected areas. So the first objective, we have three goals, which is to acquire the species and biophysical data, which will subsequently use to model the habitat suitability of tiger and rhino. Results from habitat suitability will be further used to map the connectivity across the landscape. So for the species data, we have used different sources, scientific literature, peer literature, and specific literature, citizen science, reports, and demographic data. For our biophysical variables, we have used environment variables, anthropogenic variables, for linear infrastructure variables, we have used different combinations to see the information. We used individual, for example, to see the individual, we have used railway lines individually. In another combination, we used road railway line from the to see the physical impediment to the movement, and we combine all the transportation linear infrastructure together, and in the final combination, we combine all the linear infrastructure together to see a combined effect. For the variable test, and the variables which were related more than 65% were removed from the study. We modeled the habitat stability using presence only species distribution. All the variables were sized to 1 square kilometer of resolution. We did species size. So species size, we have a lot of clustered occurrences in an area. Let's say the occurrences, species occurrences are more accessible. So such a clustering of the points related to the spatial bias, which further creates the environment bias. So to avoid that or to address that, we use two approaches. By background selection by a bias type using Gaussian color density tool. Another approach is spatial filtering or verification. For verification, multiple occurrence records of a species are reduced to a single occurrence record within a specified distance and specified distance from 1 kilometer to 5 kilometer. Finally, we use this special occurrence points with the uncorrelated environment predictors with 75% QE and 25% S data. This is the variable importance based on competition importance and personal contribution. The variables which didn't have significant contribution in the model were removed and the model was done again. Finally,
We explored recognition multiplier and replicate was done. And finally, what was evaluated with the two statistics and area under curve values. The results of factor suitability was further used in mapping connectivity. So the habitat suitability raster were used as a conductance raster in circuit state, which is the connectivity analysis software, works on the principle of electric circuit theory. We use predictive network for the tiger as a focal point and special verified occurrence point as a focal point for the rhino. We chose the pairwise ground modeling mode and further the visual model validation was done. So for species occurrences, we got 740 rhino occurrence and 630 rhino occurrence point, which were collated from different sources. Majority of us data were taken from the we also got recent tiger movement. We also got recent tiger references, which was from Rajaji Palisa, the source from a newspaper article. Another recent tiger colonization was northern forest. The variables, 35 related variables were taken for further analysis. For tiger, we found a best performing at a special verified distance of three main contributing variables: distance to protected area, density. Similarly, for Rhino, we got a best performing model at a specially verified distance of 5 km with three main contributing variables: distance to protected area, person crop, and population area. Now, if we look at habitat suitability of tiger, we found of the Rhino landscape was highly suitable for tiger. Inside the protected areas, we found 10% of the area was highly suitable for tigers. However, we found the western Malayan landscape was comparatively less suitable when compared to the eastern Malayan landscape, possibly due to the complexes of protected areas present in the eastern Malayan landscape. When compared to the previous study done by Kalamkar et al. 2011, the habitat stability in the landscape of the tiger has been decreased since there is a huge gap in both the studies. So the respective connectivity map for tiger, which shows the connectivity India and the Nepal side, the transboundary connectivities. So I find the corridor mapping studies, which has been conducted previously at different times in different parts of the Kayak landscape. However, we found two strong connectivity. One is between Rajaji and Kalesa, which is possibly due to the recent tiger occurrence point, which we have taken into consideration in our study. Another one is between Sunda Wildlife Sanctuary and Chitwa National Park. Also, another study, which is Bhatt et al. 2023. For similarly, for Rhino, we found that 1.86% of the landscape was highly suitable. Inside the protected area, was highly suitable. Among 25% of the protected area was found to be highly suitable. When comparison with the previous study by Jhala et al., we found that we got Corbett. Those connectivity links for the Rhino, in which shows a good connectivity towards the Nepal side and transboundary National Park along with another links which is being highlighted here, which is extending towards from Chitwan towards Miller Wildlife Sanctuary and Banki National Park. With this, we rely on multiple sources which help us in latest physics information of this species, which was not published. I'm talking about the tiger movement, which was recorded from Rajaji to Kalesa. Previously, the connectivity studies which has been done by in Indian physics all on the genetic basis. We have attempted to sync these studies in map the connectivity for the whole landscape. Understanding connectivity is very important for the long-term conservation of this landscape. With this, we look forward for strengthening our connectivity that we mapping points in our landscape. We will be identifying the critical corridors that will be potentially affected by the for an intensive field-based study. Further, we will be prioritizing the mitigation measures for these identified corridors for the long-term conservation.
With this, I would like to acknowledge the following. Thank you, Commissioner. Now we have the last speaker for the session, Charan Jo. Charan Jo joined the institute in 2021 and currently focus on the evaluation of efficacy of base population estimation for elephants with a prime goal to develop a robust population monitoring protocol.
Thank you, Dr. Bhatt. A very good afternoon to all. Today I'm very excited to talk about a crucial topic, elephant monitoring. It has been a problem, and a solution to a problem that has been making our efforts for far too long. In elephant sampling management. I will introduce you to an approach for developing a unified protocol for monitoring these elephants. But before delving into our approach, let's understand why population is so crucial. It provides essential data on current population status. Additionally, also provides other demographic parameters, helps in assessing conservation strategies and making informed management decisions to ensure the survival of these endangered species. Over a time, different group of researchers and scientists using different methodologies for the estimation. They divided matters into two categories, which consists of total count, block and vertical count, line count is photographic capture-based method. I know the first three counts are familiar, but in total count, the entire area have been searched for elephant, whereas in block count, elephant sighted recorded in sample called block. And in waterhole count, the surveyors remain stationary near the waterhole, in all the elephants that visit the area. Survey has been commonly adopted to uh, estimate elephant count in Asia as well as in Africa. The most widely used methods are in downtown and captured captures. To meet our objective of assessing the efficacy of proposed method for accurately monitoring the population size estimation of these gentle giants, we have chosen our study area, the 70 kilometers National Park. It's spread over 558 kilometers square, and this is a good number of elephants. We are still in the middle of analyzing our data and implementation of thus I'm only going to discuss our findings on land transit, photographic, and genetic capture-based methods. Dung decay is a process by which elephant dung decomposes over time in their natural habitat. We have divided it into five categories. In total, we have 78 dung files and monitored them once in a week until they decompose or decay fully. The mean time of decay comes to 61 days, and from that we calculated the rate of 0.0038 of one and from report elephant in Uttarakhand. Earlier this year, we conducted time counting for both elephant and young count, where we in total we ate 100. So initially we planned to lay approximately transits to cover the Indian but due to rigid and less resources cannot be done. These transits ranges from 1 to 2 kilometers and replicated times give total effort of 103.
We calculated the dump density along these frontiers of 119.32 per square kilometer with an standard error of 20.5. We work on direct cycling which is not adequate to empty the disk. From the dump decay rate and dump count, we calculated density density by using the mentioned formula. As we already calculated, 1 hour and the identification rate means the number of time an elephant in a day, which is 16 point per day. We have seen from the literature as it is standardized all over the India. We get density of 0.03 per square kilometer, which is really lesser than we expected. Particularly photographic capture on the accessible in the study area. We encountered the elephants heard spinal time and recorded 550 number of individuals without excluding the ducklings. We clicked 2007 photographs in 67 days of survey period. From the clicked photos, we identify them uniquely. We identify them on the basis of morphological changes, like how their ear top fold and how their tongue looks, how their back end. And that's how we identified 103 individuals, excluding calves and juveniles. From the identified individuals, we perform capture multi factor analysis, assuming the close population. The best chosen model on the basis of genetic value, the model of time and heterogeneity. It gave us the abundance of 411.3 with an error of 124.7. I roughly calculated the density by incorporating the whole study area to give a clear idea, and it comes out 0.73 per square meter. We also perform split capture in the density software. It incorporates the spatial locations of capture to better understand animal movement. Our detection probability is very low, thus we get the density similar to CMR's result, that's 0.7 per square meter. For now, in genetic recapture, we amplify the DNA at several macros satellite loci or other molecular markers. Matching genotypes are considered to have come from individuals and are classified as capture recaptures of these individuals. For frequency-based identification, we identify the sex as individuals. For sex identification, we use gel-based method, in which we use the Herd marker. In the above two band showing the sex identification of male, and a single band is for female. For individual identification, we used microsatellite markers for multi-loci genotyping. In this, we used labeled markers and identified the individuals. And after that, we would go for the CMR and SQL analysis. As yet, we included results of CMR and SCC are similar using photographic method. More spatial sampling needed for dump count and uh, detection. In future, we will do block count, more spatially transit for both dump and elephant count, genetic CMR and and segment-based population estimate. ready to check the knowledge of the following. That's all from my side. Thank you.
It's been a wonderful session. I want to really compliment all the presenters. Also want to request you all to come on stage to face a few questions. Thank you, Dr. Aarti, for wonderfully facilitating this session. We have, I mean, questions for different speakers as the numbers vary. I requested my co-chair, Dr. Abhijit, to kind of moderate and maybe we start with two questions. And when there is time, we come with this maybe 10 minutes later. So I think I see more questions are coming forward.
Thank you, sir. Right, we will start with the questions. There are quite a few, but we'll at least try to take 3 or 4 questions for all of you. So first, Soham, there are compliments for your good presentation. But then the question from Akshay is that how effectively can you map the underwater sea grass using 10-meter resolution imageries, where it is even required torchlight to see the sea with the naked eye? Will the mapping be more effective with very high resolution diverse natural imageries? Yeah, thank you Akshay, for the question. Yes, stability is an issue. That's why we have taken up this study. That you can find that in case of Andamans and in case of South, like in case of better accuracy. So we can comment on the case stability is an issue. But as of now, hyperspectral, I already mentioned that spectral data with 10 meter resolution is also the most that we are using. Before that, handset has been used, 30 meter resolution. Yes, we can take up those values using hyperspectral remote sensing, like using very high resolution satellites. Yes, way forward, there's no limits to future studies. But yes, stability can obviously plays a major role in mapping. And can you answer the second part, which says targeting presence absence using camera imageries helps in model training and validation? Why the accuracy obtained from the classification models are low, even used high-res camera images? Yeah, so I didn't. I just tried the algorithms, which is giving me the best results. So basically, the main objective of the study is to come up with a seamless map which we can use for the species distribution model. So it is not our aim is not to see which model is giving the best fit because of what. Okay, so the another question, technical question from Mutera is you have used 2, 3, 4 bands of sensitive data. Why other bands combinations, including SWIRE or NIR, is not used? Yeah. So we used NIR band, but the maps that we generated using 2, 3, 4 and band 8 in the NIR, so we didn't find that much difference. So NIR, yes, we have used, but not much difference. But SWR, we didn't use it. Or yes, we can write out with different band combinations. That's it, Soham, for your presentation. Okay, sir.
So, very good presentation.
Thank you, sir.
After Dr. Das' work on seagrass mapping, quite old
Yes.
Das' work, this is probably the most elaborate. But based on the result, when do you base the current status of seagrass beds in the Indian context? And based on the result that you have generated, do you think you can replan the value and two other areas where you have mapped the possibility of zero tourism, because this is the United Nations decade. So these are
So thank you for the question. So regarding the first question, I think Just, sir, I just forgot the question. Like, can you please repeat the first? Yeah, yeah. So even we are trying to see how the well-protected area dynamics are changing. Let's say, obviously, we are aware that climate change is happening. So we are coming up with a concept of dynamic well-protected area. Like that can be with respect to season, that can be long-term, we can talk about years. So yes, we are coming up. We are trying to do this study as well, like how well-protected area can be planned and one more thing that I would like to mention here is that the risk assessment that we are doing, that is to demarcate the very particular areas for that. Like, yes, sequence is the layer. We are coming up with a business distribution model. Over that, we'll overtake the risk layer, that is in terms of both picture and data. So with that, like overlay these two layers is giving us the criticality layer, like which areas are critical that we can focus our managemental implications. So yes, the first answer is that. And second, okay, yes, we can discuss it individually. Okay, thank you, sir.
I request all the presenters to be really precise in your answer. So let's go to Sneha. Uh, Sneha, you have quite a few questions, so maybe we will not cover all, but we can give you all the things. So you have questions from Ayan and Satyajit, which almost similar. They ask you one clear distribution modeling that you have seen. Ayan asked that the conditions are very different in central India and northeast and Tarai. So how did you take care of that? And Zahidul asked you that distribution model you have shown where Kaziranga is connected to Manas in Assam. So how do you consider that?
I did not understand this second question exactly. What I might have said was it is distributed in and around Kaziranga and
So in your model, it shows that almost the distribution is connected. So that's what Zahidul is asking.
okay. So I think it had more to do with the symbology which we had used. Maybe if I use a different color ramp or a different color combination, it would give it would be visually uh, better. And about the first question, so I do agree that most of our models are just preliminary studies, and based on like for Stone specifically, for Central India, and as well in the northeastern parts, we are not getting like good outputs. That was the main building our work over here at IIM. We are trying to modify our outputs because the number of points like were limited, and the environmental variables like we need to go around it and we need to finalize the model.
Thank you. So one important question from Kartika is that if you have used, what is the time frame of your citing data? If you have used literature reports which are really old by now, the distribution might have changed. So how did you take care of that?
So in GBIF, when we on the GBIF platform, when we download the data, we could actually put a filter for the date range. So we have used presence point for most of the species after the year 2000. For some of the species, like the published literature is so rare that we had to consider the historical distribution of the data.
Right. So one very important observation that Dr. Goviji made regarding your presentation is that there are separate dedicated research team working on IDWH, Red Panda, Clouded Leopard, Nilgiri project. So how do you think that your work is not a duplicacy of all these projects that are already being carried out? And you also mentioned that there is a connect knowledge you published about Nilgiri Thar. How does your result complement or differ with that of their study?
So this species distribution model which we presented today, this is not the ultimate output of the project. This is just the prerequisite which we need for habitat suitability and
Yes. Can can we have this discussion?
we have a dedicated TV, for red panda. All the researchers were for the last 8 months they were in a very difficult, harsh terrain in and North Bengal. When we see such a presentation, it's such a small for the morning only the first presentation was on clouding. We should avoid such kind of, it's the same project, the material agency is the same. It's a same project, and it's a dedicated project to some certain faculties, and we are responsible. Now, within this project alone, if we cannot collaborate and work together, it's not possible.
So that was our intention.
Listen, you don't have to take it. I think it's something we have to talk to the faculty, not the student, to answer this.
Last question shall we take?
Your study is a distribution map based on known locations of occurrence. You've taken from
Yes.
multiple sources. As compared to the maps that are generated based on adjacent there are maps already generated. Would you your study can create a duplicable picture?
So, like in future, we want to take into consideration the climatic, like the future climatic variables and the SSP scenarios available on biofilm. But as of now, we have not yet attempted to do it. We are working on it because as of now, also, our species these are not the final ones. We need to like approach other components. We need their expertise and their comments for the species distribution map, and then we can move it into future climatic scenarios.
Your study their contribution to the database that is created globally for this region?
We are exploring that option, but right now, since we have not been working on it, it will be difficult for me to comment on.
So I think it would be nice to start a dialogue. Every these have the most accepted one. So maybe if you start dialogue with them, to be in a better position to suggest you how to actually read it.
I would take your comment as a valuable feedback, and I will discuss it with my team and PI as associate.
Okay, thank you. So one question for Himani is that your STM does not show interview island as a suitable habitat for nest sweetlets. So
So there was one limitation for running the test object was the missing information of the cave data, which is one of the biggest limitations. So that's why the result was not accurate. Again, as Neha mentioned in her slides, and again, this is a preliminary study. We are working on CTP data. We are working on the field, and the goal is to use those output and present, give those to the other components, and so that whenever they will be out in the field, they can download it and we can go along with them. So yes, cave data is missing for keys.
okay, thanks. So can you come? So one it's like a question from Dr. Gopijini asks you that can elephant corridors be given like tiger corridors?
So actually, there are certain limitations of also that. But there are several examples like the seafood corridor in the southern India has a legal corridor. Whereas like in some areas they have declared the sensitive zone. And even in Meghalaya, the Northern Natural Park nearby areas, the corridor region has been treated as like a conservation reserve and public reserve. So these sort of legal implications can be made. And further, they are discussing like to make it as like a tiger corridor.
And one question is that we also asked you to include development project like Subansiri hydroelectric project in its elephant corridors.
So which elephant corridor?
Long Subansiri corridor. In,
I will include it, sir.
so can you ask your question?
No, so my question is basically to you. See, the elephant population movement is more dynamic.
Yes.
So now that we're talking about structural corridor, I think that we might be mistaken because since it's used for policy, would it be kind of a bias or constraining the policymakers that saying that these are the corridors and we need to protect? We might be losing some important information. Instead of that, why don't we think of more of a landscape zonal approach than leading approach to, because it's very, very important policy tool. So I was just saying that I will move from more of a zonal approach to that linear corridor approach.
Noted, sir. We'll give it to the higher officials, sir.
Um, so Anjali, can you come to the and answer this question from Sahir Khan, who asked you, what do you think that why there are differences in energy expenditure in different seasons?
So, as I mentioned uh, in my talk, that beta values were higher in summer because the tiger might have been subjected to the water holes, released near the water holes because of the abundant prey availability. But in winters, it might travel more because in search of food and water. So therefore, the beta values were different for all the seasons.
Okay. So the next question is from Chinmaya. How did you validate the locations collected from newspaper article? You do that? Oh, sorry. Sorry.
You, Anjali, okay. Your technology use method, which is a technology use method, is a replacement of the local animal activity. Okay. However, in the human-dominated landscape, one would need to place such a gadget in all animals to think of managing physical animals. What is the all utility of your study?
So I think what I concluded from my study that our study can be helpful in uh, selecting the individual selecting the individual or maybe translocation based on the energy expenditure. So it will help in keeping in consideration.
Okay, so one question for you is like from our MSc student, he asked that how your studies use a reference of every minute behavioral response of a
Uh, So I used a device which was set to 8 hertz. So it was quite difficult to identify the behaviors for each minute. So for now, we just remove those subscripts which was identified by the software by observing those values. So if in future studies, if we get to use the device with high capacity, then I'm sure that the identification will be more precise.
Okay, thanks. So, Manisha, can you come over and answer this thing?
Yes, sir. So for the occurrence point, which we have taken from the grey literature, specifically the point which we took tiger from Nurture to Alisa. So we narrow down to the forest range which was mentioned in the grey literature and take the approximate location in that forest range of protected area. And further validation of detecting of these studies, and that will be more of data tracking, and that will be the more of validation and model as well as for the connectivity.
Okay, thanks. So the next question is from Dr. Vishnupriya. She asked you, her handwriting is quite and reading.
Um, since when we compared our study with the past study, which was of Jhala et al. 2021, so based on that, the distribution we got in corporate was comparatively less. So considering that, I think if we incorporate the historical line of this point, we might get better distribution result, or sorry, for better habitat suitability result in other areas, including corporate.
Continuation to that, there is another question from Suresh. He asked about the Jala et al. 2021 study, which suggests corporate landscape to be a potentially suitable habitat for rhinos, but in your study it doesn't show. How do you?
I think the previous question and this question are related because in Harshini Jala's study, the historical account is taken into consideration. Okay, so I'll see that, but considering the points which we have taken are mostly the recent occurrences of the rhino, so considering the occurrence point which we can make our results more robust for the rhino, and we probably will get more distribution, more habitat suitability in Corbett compared to now which we have got in the results.
Good work. I said, based on this modeling, would it be possible to predict the future long-term survival of the key species in the Tal landscape, which is tiger and rhino? And even the future Tal landscape will for both site-specific and transboundary management. Okay. Your work is about the something long-term management goal. Are you visualizing it is going to help site-specific as well as interdisciplinary or transboundary management approach?
Yes, sir, true. We are considering this point because so our main focus is on considering legal infrastructure is value to the movement in the important segments of the landscape. Including corridors. So we'll be taking into consideration the network of infrastructure, future linear infrastructure. So that will obviously be considering the future impact and will be take the landscape level approach within the landscape. Okay. For the landscape survival, so I was supposed to answer it based on a projector, like. Okay.
So the one question from Dr. Ramesh, he asked about the transboundary habitat of tiger and rhino, which is essentially Indo-Nepal area. To a large extent, don't you think the model output will be affected by redundancy?
I'll ask you because we use a lot of the presence data, which is Maxim based, okay? The Maxim data is, the data is very sensitive. Suppose by using large extent, we probably will be compromising on predictability on the data. So we need to actually do a subset of model. Then we probably will pick up the results. To the extent what kind of data you're using will also influence the outcome there. But then since your focus is in the ball, and then since tiger and rhino, so that is what I was thinking. Why the large extent, but the focus is the transform for tiger and rhino.
So sir, it's a sort of suggestion from your side.
Yes,
to,
it's a suggestion or also question that however way you want to take it.
Okay. So we have because we want to see connectivity both on the Nepal side as well as along with the transboundary. So the landscape for the whole landscape, which includes both the side along the transboundary. So that's why the landscape level study has been taken into consideration. And as per your comments, I think we are supposed to. Okay, we'll listen.
uh, Ion, he asked you that in your Maxent model, tiger and rhino suitability shown increased value with increasing human population. However, majority of the corridors run through the forested Diwali or Chudi others? Please explain.
Um, for this, I think there would be possibly certain points, occurrence points, which would be falling somewhere close to giving proximity, area which is very high density, and based on that, the results which we are getting are somewhere around, showing this relation with the human density. Probability is showing that this type of relation with the
Can discuss more with him if he's here about it. Let's go to Charanjot. Can you come here? And the first question is from Dipali. She asked the title's status states protocol. However, I missed it mentioned.
actually we are working on it and we are looking
So the second question is again from Dr.
Because you only had one question, I thought I'll ask. So, so it's basically, now that you mentioned many protocol methods, I get scared actually. So now all the numbers that we have in India, and all that is false number. Now that India still needs to have so many technologies, still need to work on coming up with the right number. Is it really a situation that the number that we have in India is not reliable?
site property we are just
So I think my suggestion was the number is very important, but as the secretary is concerned, I think you should focus more on the demography. In case if your project is also focusing on the demography, that will be very valuable addition to this work. I think that's
You said you are developing a unified protocol. Okay, you are working on it. Is there a need for a new unified protocol? Where there is the existing protocols that are being practiced across the elephant distribution, across elephant management. And what has been the response or suggestions to the Asian elephant specialists for the work that you are doing? You need to be why who would take your new unified protocol? Have you said, existing protocols are no longer valid? Is there a need?
sorry. But I think they are not very few are not that robust to estimate our accurate number. That we are trying a different methodology because
Are you trying to look for the last uncounted counter or you are looking at a demographic model rather than now?
there are no answers. Please go ahead.
So this is regarding. So if you see population monitoring protocols for other species, India has done a good job. But if you see elephants, given the last estimate, and rhinos. So these are the only two species where we are still going with the total count. So on one side, the population estimation has got. Yes, you could argue that it is a very big and you can't miss it. But at the same time, you can't say that it might create and something like that. So that's why there's a need for a unified protocol. Then people also tried, like there was a study in talking about captured elephants. You realize that the results of that study said that the Kaziranga had 500, 1400 elephants, and it's a published research. So imagine if you're using a protocol which is in 500 elephants in Kaziranga, that means the elephant population is either between 30,000 to 90,000. So if we have such protocols, it's of no use. So that's why we have selected the part of the Rajat reason around it because it's a closed population. So we are trying to test all available methods
up with a unified protocol which will be cost effective and at the same time will talk about everything. And the most importantly, it's mostly about the demographic. We are not looking around numbers on the numbers and the demography is the critical part of it. That's what we are testing. Whether maybe at the end of the day we will realize that the protocol is the best. And then probably because as of now, the total count and the genetics in the capture detector has not been tested at the one place to tell which one is performing best. So that's the reason of a unified protocol. And who are the takers? This is a project from MOEFCC to develop the unified protocol. So as soon as we are there to develop a unified protocol, I think it will be for the country.
Did you find a variation in the factors, population assessment in Rajaji as against your method?
So there's a huge, in our method, there's a huge variation. Like Namdike tells us there are 100 elephants, but capture tells us there are 400 elephants. Genetics tells us there are 200 elephants. So there's a huge variation in those numbers. And we actually know the actual number of elephants in that. So that's why we are trying which method is giving how much of error and how much money we need. Say, for example, there will be a method which may count every elephant, but we need to spend 10 crore for the Rajaji method. Is that method wise to that level of accuracy? That's what the objective.
Thank you, everyone. I think I've taken the liberty of the last session with so much of time taken. I really want to thank all of you standing there, wonderfully presented and also difficult questions. Some I didn't want you to answer, but because some of these questions are just answer. So therefore you can go back and those compliments what you all. Yes. Now I request my co-chair to give his remark.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate all the six presenter. Their nice presentation, and then we have covered almost the all of India as well as the islands. So while I can comment on that, technological aspects are there to, to have, we have our own views of their implementation in the field level situations. However, these technological tools are really, really good in, making the policy level decisions and also making an impression about conservation. So with that, I really appreciate all the presenters for their nice and in-depth presentation.
Thank you, Dr. Vijay. So once again, I thank you for this organization. From my side, I have only a couple of points to say. So one is about the quality of the presentation. I think it's very amazing. So you see, I'm part of the research in the growth. So this is wonderful. I really appreciate each one of you. The second thing I want to underscore is about the use of the methodology itself. So what we think is modern is not really modern. The methodology that some of you use is not which was used 20 years back. It's still relevant. Maxim model everybody uses now is published 10 years back. It is coming back. But at the end of the day, what is important is use of data. Whatever the technology we use, I think right kind of data is very important. Therefore, I kind of want to urge all of you, while we have all the modern methods, spatial statistics, but focusing more on field with getting the right kind of data is what going to give you the right result. So with that, I thank the organizer for giving me the opportunity. Over to you.
Thank you, sir. I think after a very intense last session, we end for the day. And